Great! We're finally into the actual application. We're going to walk you through each field and answer some questions that we hear from our users. Remember, the yellow fields are fields the prospective student, that's you, should be filling out. Purple fields are for your parents. Field 1. Make sure you enter in your last name here. We often see people enter in their first name. If your name is longer than the allotted space, just enter in as much as you can. The most important thing to remember is that the name must match what is on your Social Security card. If you have married, it will be important to use the name that is on your Social Security card. Field 2. First name. The same goes for this field as Field 1. It must match your Social Security card. Field 3. Middle initial. Pretty simple, right? Field 4. Number and street of your mailing address. Enter in your current mailing address. It is best to use a physical address instead of a post office box. To denote the number of your apartment or unit number, simply put APT, apartment, and then the number. If you're stationed overseas and no longer have a U.S. mailing address, use the military base's mailing address. If you come back from deployment early for some reason, make sure to update your FAFSA application immediately. Field 5. The name of your city. Once again, if your city name is longer than the field, enter in as much as you can. Field 6. Enter in your 2-letter state abbreviation. If you do not know your state abbreviation, please check FAFSALoanHelp.com. Field 7. Your zip code is your current mailing zip code. Field 8. Social Security number. This is one of the most important fields in the entire application. Enter in your 9-digit Social Security number very clearly. Field 9. Enter in your date of birth with the 2-digit month. For instance, February is 02, October 10. The day in 2-digit format, and the year in 4-digit format. Field 10. Your permanent phone number. We all know that people move a lot these days. Use your cell as your primary phone if you don't anticipate on changing this phone number. But make sure to pick up the phone and check your voicemail often. Field 11. Driver's license number. Usually at the top of your license. If you don't have a license, put a 0 in the field. If you are a military member, enter in the license number you have. Don't worry if you're not living at that address anymore. Field 12. Driver license state. Essentially, where you got your driver's license. Once again, you don't need to be living there right now. Field 13. Your email address. Many people have more than one email address. Use the email address that you check the most. We suggest that you don't use a work email address. If your email address is longer than the field, make a new email address and forward that address to your older one. But make sure to check your spam folder often for any messages from the government. Field 14. Are you a U.S. citizen? So this question is fairly straightforward for most people. If you're born in the U.S. and a citizen, simply answer yes. But if you moved to the U.S. and got your green card, color in the circle next to no, but I am an eligible non-citizen. If you are not a citizen or do not have a green card, fill in the last box. Field 15. Alien registration number. This is the number on the top of your green card. Field 16. What is your marital status as of today? If you have filed for a divorce but it has not completely gone through yet, answer separated. If you are in a same-sex marriage, the federal government does not recognize this yet, so you may need to answer single. Be prepared to explain this in the future. Field 17. Month and year of your relationship status changed. Pretty simple. If you cannot remember or do not have an official record, check with your local Hall of Records. Field 18. What is your state of legal residence? Where's the last place you had a mailing address and claimed residency? For military members, use the state you last lived in before deployment overseas. This does not have to be the same as your mailing address, which we filled out earlier on the form. Field 19. When did you become a resident of the state? Field 20. Simply enter in the date when you became a resident. Field 21. Select your gender. If you do not wish to identify your gender, you may receive an incomplete application response. Field 22. If you are male, you must register with the Selective Service to be eligible for financial aid. This is usually done when you turn 18. If you don't remember doing this, please check this box. Don't worry, there has not been a draft in a long time. Females do not have to fill out this field. Field 23. So, the drug conviction question. If you have a criminal record or conviction, the FAFSA is only interested to know if you were convicted while you were getting some sort of financial aid. If you had a conviction, but it was during a time when you were not receiving aid, you can answer no to this question. If for some reason you need to call the 800 number on the form, be prepared to explain your situation as it was recorded by the police officer. Field 24 and 25. Some colleges take into account if your parents have received a high school or college degree. If for some reason you do not know your father or mother's history, just enter in other/unknown. This may limit your financial aid options. Also, if you have a stepfather or a stepmother, you can enter in their info instead of your birth parents' data. One of the parents listed on your app must be a birth parent, though. Field 26. This question is asking you if you were beginning college in 2011 or 2012. If you have completed high school or a GED, you can only pick one choice. Field 27. Enter in your high school's name. If you received a GED, you may leave this blank. Also, if you've been homeschooled, you may leave this blank. Field 28. This question is asking if you will have completed your first bachelor degree before 2011. This is mainly for graduate students applying for master or doctoral programs. Field 29. The grade level question can be tricky for some. The best way to look at this is by how many credits you have earned. For instance, if you are in your 4th semester, but you've only completed 12 credits, you are technically a first-year student. Field 30. This question is asking what type of program you will be working on. It's okay to answer other/undecided if you are not sure yet. However, we recommend answering first bachelor degree in most cases. Field 31. A work-study program is where you may be learning on the job and receiving credits for your time. Congrats on getting to the end of Section 1 on the FAFSA. Now is a good time to go back and check your answers and look for any errors. If you have any further questions at this point, go to FAFSAloanhelp.com.